Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to do an experiment. It's called the Can Crush experiment. I imagine you might be able to figure out what's probably going to happen in this experiment. Okay? What we've got going on here is a very simple setup. All we have is a can of Arizona lemonade. We've got a heating plate, and we've got a container of cold water. And right now the water there is about 48 degrees. So it's a little bit chilly. It's about 30 degrees less than the room temperature here. The setup for this experiment is fairly simple. All we do is we place the can on top of the heat source and we wait for the can to start boiling. I don't know if you can see, it's a little hard to see on the camera, but we've got some steam coming up out of this can. Okay, so what that tells us is that the small amount of water that I put on the bottom of this can, only about a tablespoon of water, the small amount of water that I put on the bottom of this can is now boiling. Okay, and that's going to do a lot inside the can. It's going to heat up the temperature inside the can. It's going to excite the air and the water vapor molecules inside of the can. So right now inside the can, we've got a lot of motion going on. We've got all of these air molecules, all of these water vapor molecules moving around and bouncing around all inside of the can. And they're escaping when they can. They're escaping in the form of steam out of the top of the can. Okay? What we're going to do, the step of this procedure is actually pretty straightforward. I'm going to take the can and I'm going to flip it upside down onto the water. Okay? And when I do that, I'm taking this boiling can filled with boiling water and I'm inverting it into this ice cold water. That's going to do something to the temperature of the can. What do you think is going to happen to the temperature of the can when I take it from this hot boiling hot plate and putting it inside of this ice cold water? What will happen to the temperature? That one might be pretty easy to guess, but something else is going to happen as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this can, I'm going to flip it upside down into my bucket of ice water. And you're going to notice something happen. Immediately to maybe a second after I take the can and put it into the water, you'll notice something happen to the can. Okay? This is a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. Of course, it's a video, so you can always go back if you need to. I'm going to take this can and I'm going to flip it over. You observe what happens to the can. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Always startles me a little bit. What happened to my can? Does it look the same as it did before? Here is a full can by comparison. Here is the can that I was just holding. Something happened here. What happened here? Okay. You'll notice the can clearly looks physically different. I promise you, I did not squeeze it with my hands. I was gently holding it upside down like this. What happened to our can? And why did that happen? These are all fantastic questions, and we'll talk about these in just a second.